prayers. Okay, I'm just going to get started then. Continuous cleansing.
Sure, go ahead.
All my bodies are free of pathologies.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 All my bodies are free of immune dysfunction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All my bodies are at full function.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've installed all necessary immunological shields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All my God connectors within.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm installing the reflex to give love and empowerment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I attract warm, happy feelings in others.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm merging my results bodies with people of my choice, pick some people. And
Yeah.
I'm removing and installing the right factors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm on the best side of my highest possible dimension.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I'm removing the tendency in the world, all tendencies in the world to solve problems with violence.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm removing all disturbances from the emotional bodies of everyone in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm protecting myself and my people from incipient catastrophes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm realizing the loving, world-shaping, and God-given intentions I've carried from life to life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm causing my career and those of the people I love to be what God intends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm attracting increased capacity in myself and my group to accept power infusion.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
My particle attributes are in balance and at full strength to succeed at God's work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All my bodies are in God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All my bodies are one rainbow.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm free.
Yes.
I'm free.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am now as happy as I have ever been.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? That's the end of the continuous cleansing prayer.
Well, that was fast.
Yeah.
Well, Ron goes slowly, and he makes a point of going slowly.
Sometimes there's more people.
Yeah, when there's more, I mean, it is like with us, we can do the prayer at that speed, and it went, I thought, pretty well.
still be effective with it.
Yeah, right. You know, I liked it how it went.
Yeah.
You know, and
It was very natural.
you know, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh.
Karen was saying. Go ahead.
Karen, were you
You saying
saying?
something?
No, somebody else said something else. I was just waiting to listen.
Okay. Well, I want everybody to take a look at the home page of the web college. Can you do that, Karen? Are you able to see the home page?
Yeah, I think we should get on it. I just gotta do it. I'm not on the computer. I'm relaxing, and I love these moments when I can relax. But for you, I will do anything.
Do you know that there are quite a few people who believe they're relaxed when they're looking at their computer screen?
I've been up since 5:30 running around San Jose getting things done, including helping somebody get their car.
Wow.
So I just got in the door in time to make the prayer.
Well, I'm so happy that you're here. I wanted to tell you that, you know, I was listening to, I guess it was last week's meeting, and I really enjoyed the way you were dialoguing with me, and I thought you were a great foil, you know, that you helped me make my point very well. It's good to have you. And you contribute like things, you know, you see the issues, and so you contribute things about them.
I'm committed to what you guys are doing. This is amazing. I'm amazed.
Guys,
I love it.
What are we doing?
We're looking at the home page of the Cure Drive. You know, you just sort of have to look at the whole thing all at once. Anna, can you see it yet?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And Alejandra, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's good for you to know what's there. You know, like what we're like saying at first glance to people, because that's what the homepage is really. It's that first moment of seeing it. Does anybody have a comment they want to make or anything they want to say about it?
Could we choose a smaller font size for the word cult on the t-shirt? I guess no.
Well, we chose the big. I chose the big font size because I wanted to emphasize the word.
I know. We went from herpes to cult.
I wanted, like when I go to Sam's Club in the t-shirt, I want people to be able to see it when they're on the way over on the other side of the store.
I know, I'm just wondering when I graduate to rock star instead of herpes. Herpes cult, sexy, it's sexy. I like
You
it.
should see the one Franny made. Franny made a great t-shirt. It's new.
Oh, I thought that was it.
No, she'd made this one. And I wanted to tell you also that Franny was like a warrior with this. Like this design took her like 2 days. She had to take that spiral out of her brother's collection, and then she had to like completely clean the edges of it because it was all fuzzy, because it wasn't meant to be expanded like that.
I
And
would like a t-shirt.
you what?
I would like to get a t-shirt. I would like to own one, or wear one around.
What about all the t-shirts I sent you?
They just got like destroyed or stained or whatever. I only had two. I had a herpes one and a cancer one.
You know, I have to say, when that shirt
I think
comes, and before I wear it, I'm gonna like do something to make it look used, because I do not want to walk around in an obviously new t-shirt.
I do.
That is,
Well, there's another one that, I don't know if that was what Byron was talking about, but there's one that says, I heart curing. That's
That's
you
good.
didn't put a link to it, but there's that one too.
Sounds good.
Well, you got to see this one of Franny's. I don't know how to show it to you though very easily.
Well, I can also put it on cheaper.
Could you,
You know, I
Franny,
can
could
also
you
make
put the
cheaper
T-shirt that
shirts
you
with-
made on your Facebook wall right now so they could see it, the heart one?
What?
Do you understand what I'm asking you to do?
Yeah, I don't. I sent you all those things, and what did you
Put it
do
on
with
your
them?
Facebook wall, the heart one.
Try.
Well, so all right. Is there anything else? Anybody want to make any other comments about anything on the homepage? Anna, have you ever reported your cures?
Reported them? Oh, I have. It was quite a while ago I reported some, but I sort of lost track.
Alejandra, have you reported your cures?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just checking. I just want to make sure. It's good for you to report your cures from time to time. Makes them real. And then the tally goes
Long
up at
time.
some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
I could probably do some more.
Well, why don't you go ahead and do it right now, since you're there. Test how many cures to report and
All right.
hit the little thing.
Trying to find it.
Boys.
Sorry. So where is it again? I can't seem to find it.
Upper left,
Oh,
right,
it's
right at the top.
top.
Upper left.
Okay.
Yeah, we might as well take a moment and report our cures. I haven't reported cures in years because I felt at some point that it had to be, like the torch had to be taken up by others. You know, I couldn't just be the guy reporting his cures. You know, I needed other people to do it. And it seems like they did because, boy, there were weeks when like thousands of cures came in. Where are all those people? Why don't they talk to us? And you know, we get, like, when people sign up for the web college, Greg writes them email, and most of them never write anything back to him.
mm-hmm.
They
It
never.
can't all be me.
Greg is the loneliest guy in town.
He's like the Maytag repairman.
Number that you'll never see.
Good old Greg.
Loneliest one. The loneliest number is the number one.
Okay, well I put this shirt thing up on my wall.
Oh, great.
Let's see.
Yeah.
When I saw that shirt that Franny made, I said every woman is going to want one of these shirts.
Yeah, very nice.
Well, that's nice.
I just did some for myself.
It's an I Love Curing t-shirt. Florida, tax-free, this huge sign comes up.
Ooh, I like the ones with the numbers. Yay!
I love curing.
They should have making black. I love black.
Yeah, this would look nice as a black t-shirt. It really would.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Well, Alejandro, you have like a lot of your clothes I notice are black. Like right now you're wearing black.
I love black.
And you have black hair, and so you got You look good in black.
Well, since I was young, I used to love black, so not just now.
Yeah, you look great.
Some people say, oh, don't wear black. You know,
Wow, that's cool.
it's just the color.
Black is your color. It's one of your colors. By the way, another one of your colors is white. You also look good in white.
I like red. Red and purple.
Yes, Greg?
Now, when I clicked on Report Cure, I got to the webs. Activate web features.
You know, quite frankly, I don't think that. I personally, I don't think that the I Love Curing is really a guy kind of T-shirt. Like I got the other, I got the cult one, but I realized like that women were gonna love the I Love Curing shirt. So sorry to be such a sexist, but I had to show it to you.
Well, we also have on the Cures team T-shirts. There's more of those.
We got that. Yeah, we have other
I'm
ones.
full for curing.
But these are the hot new designs,
Yeah,
What was that you said, Greg?
I'm a fool for curing.
Well, we were going to do one that says, may the curing be with you.
That's a great one. You got to do, Bono, you have to do that.
May the cure.
May the cure be with you.
That's a good one.
The young people would like that.
Yeah.
Like
We know that's young anymore.
young people of the age of
Trendy.
45 and over, who are the only people who ever were around for that movie.
Test it.
People who were 10 in 1979. Or 77, maybe it was. So Anna, are you writing something?
Well, I'm getting stuck in where it says Yahoo groups at the top, and it says activate web access, and it's not taking my email address, so maybe it's another address.
Really?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not able to add it.
No,
On the
Most people who come to this web. Well, I get a form.
If you click on Report Cure.
I get a form that if you click on Report Cure, it says groupmail.com, and there's 2 boxes, and you put your cures in it and click send. That's what
on the top navigation bar. If you click on,
they're clicking on the wrong thing.
if you click on the, Report Cure is underneath where it says curedrive.org in the top left corner, 132K on that icon. That's when you get group. You get the Yahoo group.
This is not a Yahoo group, Greg. It's not a Yahoo group. Most people. There is no Yahoo link up here at all. It's just Report Cure is right above the Immunix Cure Drive. That's where you're supposed to click.
Okay, if you go on the question page, if you click on Report Cure, you get to the Yahoo group. So it does go to the Yahoo group. So we got to change that.
On the question page?
Yeah, from give/question.
How in the world did you ever get over there? You were on the home page.
That's not the point.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to go on talking about how I got there. It's just it's a bad link.
Anyway, forget about fixing the bad link. Just be on the home page, click on Report Cure, and you can report your cures. No problem. You see it now, Anna?
No, it just comes up to, the question page. Okay, and then I click it again, or?
Huh? The question page?
Yeah, it says, in the box at the top, it says waymune.org, give question HTM.
Yes, so see if you go back to the home page. See, this is not clear.
Okay.
The home page, on the top left navigation bar, at the very top to the left, it says Home, Cure Show, Report Cure. That
Oh, yeah. Okay, I was going below it. Okay.
I know. That's what I was. If you go there, see, that gets you to the
Yeah,
question
yeah,
page,
got it.
and that's why I'm saying it's.
So did you get there now?
Yeah, now I got it.
If
Okay.
two knowledgeable people went to the
Okay,
wrong
good.
place, then
We didn't change the other pages, so all 2,000 pages go to an old obsolete link. The
And
only
so-
the only valid one is on the home page.
All right, got it.
gonna
Yeah.
get me a T-shirt.
So that's the only place where you can report a cure is on from the home page.
There's a possibility that there's a cheaper shirt if you want. I have to put the logo on it, but it doesn't
God,
take that
Barbara,
long.
why are you going to such pains to try to lower the price of the shirt when they can just...
Well, we put the most expensive organic shirt on there.
Yeah.
If you wanted an organic shirt, but
Well,
not everybody else.
just
They're
so
all
everybody
100%
just
cotton.
just so everybody knows, if you want another color or something else, Franny can slap it on it for you. So if you want a tank top or something, so
If
Black
you want
is kind
the
of
Cure
hard,
drive,
but
you no, it
I'm on the
isn't.
Cure team. I'm on the Cure team.
Yeah, black, make one in black.
You know, Bruno, it's
Well,
very
it's
easy
very-
to make it black because it's a big white patch that goes over the black with your design on it. So it'd be just fine.
well, it's more. I have to work on that one because it's a different format of the logo. So.
Well, you could see from this, I have the patch now, so I can tell you firsthand that it is a big white patch that goes on the shirt because I see the patch. I'm looking at it, and now I'm not.
Well, I'll get the shirt on.
By the way, I cannot vouch that an organic cotton shirt is any more comfortable than a regular one because I have never owned one. This will be my very first organic cotton t-shirt.
Well, I don't think it should feel different. It's just that the cotton is grown organically. It's just it's not going to feel different.
Right.
Gee, I don't know.
Anna, can we talk for a minute, a couple minutes right now?
Sure.
But I don't want to interrupt. Are you doing something? Are you writing something?
No, I'm just looking at the shirt.
Oh, you're okay? Okay.
Oh,
All right. Well, it's only 9:30, so this is good. Okay. So you're getting bumper stickers, and now tell us what you will achieve by having those, and what will you do with them? And tell us about that.
Well, I haven't decided exactly where I'm going to go yet, but I'm going to I'm going to look at the film that you have on the instructions for the bumper stickers and get out somewhere and start passing them out and asking for donations and telling people about it. And Barb and I are talking about getting together, either in California or in Mexico, and doing something together. So,
Well, okay. One of the nice things about this whole thing with bumper stickers is immediacy.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, on the day that you get the bumper stickers, you can walk up to 5 complete strangers and interact with them. And the bumper sticker is kind of like a license to do that. It it tells the person, hey, I'm okay, I'm an activist working for a cause or whatever. Everybody gets something different from it, but you get the idea?
Yeah, that's good. Uh-huh.
Greg, could you go on mute? I think if anybody who's typing or doing something should go on mute. And also, pay attention to what we're talking about, because this is for everybody. It's not just for Anna. But this is the reason d'etre, that the great thing about bumper stickers is they're immediate. Now, let me ask you something. Suppose you go to my movie selection on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've watched some of those movies, right?
I have.
So let's say you look up a guy who made a movie. And you write to him, and there's a movie I watched today. It's not on that list, but I watched this movie I watched today. It's called Effective Altruism. And he's altruistic, and he tries to also be effective with his altruism. So he's talking about things that have worked for him, and then he uses other examples of other altruists. One of them is Bill Gates. Things that have worked for Gates, because Gates has managed to save like about 5.5 million people's lives. Plus, Gates has also probably prevented more like 10 or 15 million people from being crippled or just hurt physically by diseases. So he's a very effective, Bill Gates is a very effective altruist. I don't remember this guy's name, but let's say you look this guy up and you Google the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, you find that he's on Twitter. So you go and you click to follow his Twitter feed, and then you find a couple of other places, and you even find something that he's got up, a blog or a website or something, and he's got his phone number on there and whatever, his business number, his home number. He's got all this information about him, so you can call him. But what you decide to do is to send him like a little, how you can send somebody a message on Twitter, it's not really a tweet, it's like it's also the same amount of words though. It's like this really short thing like a tweet, but except it just goes to the person and something tells them, hey, there's something here for you. So you figure he's more likely to see that. So you send him one of these things and you say something on it, like, what would you say?
I know a way to cure incurable diseases, and I want you to know about this. Let's see what else.
Well, that'd probably take up 170 characters, so.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Maybe we could work on it a little bit. But anyway, so let's say you write that to him. And now, how immediate is that?
How immediate?
Yeah, as far as immediacy goes, is that as better or worse than bumper stickers?
Probably better.
Okay, why?
Well, it's directly to someone who is already on that wavelength, maybe.
Okay. So there.
Somebody that I've targeted.
See I see. I'm only talking about immediacy. What you're talking about is like overall advantages.
Mm-hmm.
So in overall advantages, it's probably better than bumper stickers. Bumper stickers are practice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not, you know, you're probably never going to find a supporter or an ally by handing out bumper stickers, although I probably end up eating my words because, for one thing, you're in Grass Valley and there's a lot of, you know, like there are people who give talks on TED live in Grass Valley.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Grass Valley is a very wonderful and activist kind of area.
Mm-hmm. It is.
See, so you could very easily walk up and somebody will sit you down and say, "Hey, listen, I just, you know, tell me more about this," and so on. Before you know, 10 minutes later, the person's curing things, and they're like, you know, they've made a life commitment. It's possible. Anyway, but okay. Just as far as immediacy, which is more immediate, the bumper stickers or the tweeting to the person?
So then that would be the bumper stickers.
Okay, why?
Because they would be out there on view if they put them up in their cars, and it's just right there. It's like person to person.
Well, unfortunately, most people who take bumper stickers will give you money but not put the bumper sticker on their car. They say they will, but they don't. Although Grass Valley may be different than here. But
Yeah.
and also, it's possible that more people put the stickers on their cars than we know about. But Greg saw some of the people like days later when he was out again handing out bumper stickers, and they still had the bumper sticker on the front seat of their car. They were like waving the bumper sticker at him like, "Hey, hi there, how you doing? Keep up the good work," you know. And they were, but they never put it on their car. Possibly, you know, just laziness or whatever. You know. But then, you know, too, there were bumper stickers that we personally put on people's cars, and we never saw them again. The cars, I mean. So, you know, they're probably out there somewhere with the bumper stickers on them. So who knows? So a lot of this stuff you can't figure out. One thing.
Well, you know, if you don't mind my saying so, what we're not doing is just giving somebody the opportunity to cure for themselves. What we're asking people to do, it seems, is can you help us create awareness around the ability to cure?
Well, I'll tell you a story. Barb was leaning on her car, which has bumper stickers on it, and this girl she knows walked by and said, "Oh, hey, Barb, you know, oh, wow, is that your car?" And Barb says, "Yeah," and the woman goes like, "Wow, that's cool. You know, I was just in Austin, Texas, and I saw one of those bumper stickers on a car."
Yeah.
So
really effective.
So out there
I think
somewhere, somebody is putting bumper stickers on their cars. People do put them on. Also, I don't want to misrepresent here, okay?
Sure.
Now, my bumper sticker I put on, and I actually scotch tape it on the inside. You know how they have those types that will kind of stick on without the, you know, where you can't remove it. I don't know what the bumper stickers are like, but are they the non-removable
You can
type?
take these off.
Actually, these are the really easy ones to remove.
Oh, that's
They-
good.
Yeah, they're great.
That's helpful too.
They're like vinyl almost.
We remove them periodically and exchange them for new ones as they sort of like get grungy.
Okay.
You know, so I have 4 of them on my windows, and every so often I do this job where I peel all 4 of them off, and then I wash the car windows and dry them, and then I put 4 more bumper stickers on the car windows.
I gave someone one the other day, and then they came to me the next day looking very upset, saying, "This is the old bumper sticker. The number on the website's a lot bigger." I said, "Gee, sorry." I said, "It's a collector's item." I got ripped off.
Barb, you know how to dance around these things. I have to give you a lot of credit.
You say, boy, look at the progress we've made just overnight.
You're right, really.
Turned it around and we popped.
I'm afraid we'll never have the current number on the stickers.
Yeah, afraid, Anna, the ones you're getting are not up to where we are.
We haven't republished them in actually a couple of years.
Yeah.
Okay, so to go on with this, what I was thinking is that bumper stickers are immediate because what's actually happening is you're walking over to someone and one way or the other they're reacting to you. That's why they're immediate.
Right. Okay.
Now, are you doing something with your hands there? Or? Anna, I mean.
So.
Are you okay? Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Oh, you're not writing. Do you want to complete what you were doing? I can wait a second.
No, I'm just kind of fidgeting.
Okay, well, sit back and relax and be with this.
Okay.
You want to just let in what I'm telling you. These things are important. Okay. This is your perspective on doing this. It's not what you thought it was going to be. Like, your perspective isn't like watch the movie and figure out a good place to go. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. Okay? You with me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is about practicing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
see, you can do anything with bumper stickers. Let's say the bumper stickers they come in the mail and this is your shopping day. All right? For example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you take a wad of bumper stickers, you put them in your car, and you go out to do your shopping. And you go into the store, and you go over to the manager, and you say, hey, I'm doing some volunteer work for this organization. Would you mind if I hand out these bumper stickers in front of the door to the store for 15 minutes or so? I'd just like to do a little, And maybe the manager says, well, we really can't let you do that because, you have to be approved. And you say, okay, well, fine. Well, would you put one of these on your car and maybe donate something? And the manager goes, oh, sure, hell, what the hell. Here's $2. And he gives you $2 and takes a bumper sticker, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So now you've had an interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Get it? It's immediate. You get it?
Right.
And that's all it's supposed to be. Like, they're not supposed to say, yes, you can hand them out in front of the store. There is no set response you're supposed to be getting. What's supposed to be, you're supposed to be learning from not getting set responses.
Mm-hmm.
Get the idea?
Yeah.
Like, you're just supposed to be there, present. Like, let me tell you a story. I was talking, I don't know, I don't remember which meeting it was or whether you were there or not, but I was talking about a comic book writer who works at Sam's Club behind the refund desk. And when I went over to, I changed laundry detergent, so I was taking back, dishwasher soap, so I was taking back the dishwasher soap that I used to use, that I'm not going to use. And so his computer jammed and he started talking, and so we were talking for like 10 minutes with this guy. He's moving to Miami because he thinks he can get work as a comic book writer there. And he's got a friend, and he works with this other guy who draws and he writes. They're a team, and the other guy's going with him. And I told him about what I do, and his response was, wow, that's cool, And then he just went right on talking about himself. Like, people in the film business are like that. Like, he's obsessed with himself. You get it?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So, and what I liked him, though, very much, and I sort of enjoyed giving him a few pointers about how to succeed in the film business, at which I seem to be expert. I suppose I've known a lot of people who were in the film business. But then I started thinking, like, gee, I didn't show him how to get a signal. Why not? why couldn't I have showed him how to get a signal? You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing stopping me other than I literally did not think of it. I simply didn't think of it.
Right.
So you know, so this means what? In my case.
So, presence of mind,
Well, I need more practice.
practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's happened to me,
Yes.
where I walked away from an interaction and I thought, shoot, I didn't say anything, and I let them do all the talking. Or
Just remember one thing. The only initial thing to ever say to somebody is want to try something. Get it?
Yeah.
And then you show them how to test. The only initial thing to ever say to anybody. So now you know you don't have to that's one less decision that you have to make in your life.
Right.
You don't have to figure that out anymore.
Yeah, just go and do it.
Yeah, it's handled, you know. You just do this one thing. You just say, want to try something, and the person usually says sure, and you say, you're going to ask a question and look for a signal, and then can I cure things, and blah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And when they do it, then you explain to them that it's going to save the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now remember, did you ever watch the Lost, the TV series?
What's it called, Bob?
Lost, you know, the TV series.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No.
Well, it's on Instant Play on Netflix. Do you have Netflix?
No, but I'm going to get it soon.
Okay.
I'll have time.
Yeah, watch Lost because it's one of the greatest pieces of work in any film medium. And the weird thing about it is it's such a soap opera. You know, it's like a dyed-in-the-wool soap opera, and that's what works about it. That's what's wonderful about it. Like it isn't trying to be Ingmar Bergman.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's what's great about it. And there's this one line in there where Jack says to Locke, he says, this computer is not going to save the world. And Locke says, how can you be so sure? And Jack says, because I saw the computer that's going to save the world and it doesn't look like this. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to remember that line when we tell people about that, like after they test. And we tell them, like, people cure cancer with this, and they say, well, you know, they're like, that's what's in their mind. You know, I know what's going to cure cancer, and it doesn't look like this. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
One of the movies, I'm going to put this movie on the movie list. And the movie is by J.J. Abrams, who was the creator of Lost. One of the creators of Lost. And the movie is, it's one of the TED lectures. It's called The Magic Box. And he says, in this movie, he says, if you want to do a sequel, don't steal the formatting. You know, like Die Hard, you know, or Star Wars or something. Steal the characters, steal the people, the stories, the emotions. That's the stuff that's worth something. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to put all this stuff together in your mind, you know?
Right.
But anyway, okay, so the whole thing with bumper stickers is immediacy. The idea is to get, you know, your stickers and then make a game for yourself like that you're going to ask 5 people a day to put them on their cars.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number one thing that you're going to just, anybody. It can be anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody, anywhere, you know, and and you know, when you say I'm doing some volunteer work for this organization, that covers a lot of bases. Okay, now to go on with this, that is there anything about this that is unclear to you?
I don't think so.
Okay. Now, what do you think about the idea of you and Barb getting together?
I think I'd like that.
Yeah, it's great, right?
Uh-huh.
On an immediacy scale of 1 to 10, how great is it?
Did you understand the question?
No, I'm just testing it now, what the number would be.
Well, instead of testing it, just take a look at it. Like,
Okay.
how immediate is it?
It's not very.
Yeah, it's not very... See, this game is all about immediacy, which sort of like says that when you and Barb are roaring along, each in your respective cities, you know, handing out stickers, and Barb calls you up and says, listen, my friend, you know, Wally is driving to Grass Valley by some weird coincidence next week, and I was wondering if I could stay with you for a couple of days. He's going to be there, and then I'm going to drive back with him. He has some business to do there, so I thought maybe I'd combine it with, do you think I could stay with you? And you go, sure, absolutely, stay with me. That's great. You know, we have the guest room, and we'll go out every day and hand out bumper stickers, and you guys can have a lot of fun. You know, then that's how immediate it is. It's a week away.
Mm-hmm.
See, and the great thing about bumper stickers is bumper stickers are a minute away, because you walk outside and you can ask people to put bumper stickers on their cars. You have neighbors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, you know.
Yeah, that's great. That makes
I went out just a mile away because there was a pretty decent spot there. And I'd say, okay, I'm going to do it for an hour. Now, maybe sometimes I stayed 2 hours, but I could do it for an hour, and I really made a difference in me, particularly, but also then it really affected the community, because I would see the same people, and they'd say, oh, you're that guy. But just an hour, I could just pop out, and then back home again. I didn't have to do anything great to...
Well, yeah, it's giving presence to something, like you said, Greg, if you do it on a regular basis. It is how advertising works. You don't do it one time. You keep being there. You keep, people keep being reminded. And sooner or later, someone will do something. And they may put the bumper sticker on their car. They may access the website. They may start to, something will happen. And it's generation. It's generating something. You don't know it's generating.
You know, I had all this stuff going through my mind, including that, but I felt the biggest result I got was with me and my
I was just going to say too. I think
comprehension and growth in my ability to just embody the Cure Drive without saying things and seeing right away to the heart of the matter and dealing with somebody. And learning not what to say. Oh, it's just like incredible. And just to be silent with somebody, just, you know, be there.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Besides, I love getting paid for it. I mean, I said, okay, I have always in the back of my mind, I'm averaging $50 an hour. I'm averaging $100 an hour right now. I said, oh boy, let's go. Let's play a game. Let's see how much I can do in 2 hours.
Greg once took in $304 in 2.5 hours. Now here's a couple of other things. The other day, Franny was laughing because she was saying, we don't have to, like, if we want to hand out bumper stickers now, we don't have to drive down to 301 anymore. And 301 is like, 5 minutes from here. You just drive to the corner and make a right, and 5 minutes you're there. But she said we could just go to the corner and hand bumper stickers out there because they redid the road and they put a median in, and at rush hour the traffic is backed up for like half a mile, so we could definitely hand out bumper stickers right up the street if we want to. So that was one thing I was thinking about, you know, was that another thing was that one reason that I got that shirt was I started to wonder if I wear a shirt that says Cult on it, I wonder how people will react to me. Because the other thing I wore was that I cured herpes, and I got some, you know, some people asking me about it. I've also, by the way, had people asking me about the stickers on my car if I'm like out doing something in the front of the house and a neighbor walks by, and sometimes they'll say, "What is that? I've always wanted to ask you what that is," you know, because I'm there, you know, they have me, you know, I'm raking the leaves or whatever it is. So that's another thing. And also, don't put the bumper stickers on your car. Put them on your car windows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not on the car. You could put them on the car if you want. A lot of people put them on their cars, but they don't care about the paint because the paint fades on your car. You don't notice it, but it does. And so if you take the bumper sticker off, there'll be this patch where the paint didn't fade.
Mm-hmm.
So don't put them on your car. Just put them on your car. Also, they can't see them when they're on your car. They can only see them when they're on the windows because the windows are high enough. The windows are at eye level. So even though they're called bumper stickers, they aren't really for bumpers. You know, their cars had bumpers a long time ago, but they don't have bumpers anymore. You don't bump things with your car. You know, when I was a kid, we used to push cars with our car.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
You know, one car get behind the other one and push it, but you don't do that anymore. Like you destroy your car if you do that now.
Down here.
Hmm? You do it, Barb?
No, but people do it.
I guess if you have a beat-up Jeep or something, it wouldn't be.
Last time I did it, Chrissy was pushing me, and that was only a couple of years ago. 3 years
Really?
ago. But no, I see people doing that on the street here.
With that van, right? She was pushing you with that van?
Yeah, no, actually she had a little Prius, and I was just I can't remember what happened. Something died or ran out of gas or something.
How the hell could she push? I think that would destroy it.
Very careful. Very careful.
Very careful, right.
I had a little beat-up car. I had a Jetta. It was really heavy.
Well, now, okay. So another thing is, I had this experience where I made those movies of Greg, Anna, you know?
Uh-huh.
And I went out with Greg, and I'm making this movie, and I'm standing in the median, and he's up ahead, and I'm in the middle of the median where it dips down, and I'm in all these weeds and everything. And all of a sudden, the button on the camera wouldn't work. That's when that camera died that day. And I could not get this damn thing to film. And Greg is over there, and he has stopped at this car, right? Which usually, that's unusual. Usually, Greg, takes a moment, gives the person their sticker, and he walks on, But he stopped. He's talking to this guy. And I want to get this on film because this is unusual, and I know I'm not going to be able to film this again. And I'm pushing and messing with this button, and it will not go in or stay in or whatever it was supposed to do. And then Greg touches the guy on the arm. Guy had his arm on the windowsill of the car. Greg touches the guy's arm. And I'm thinking, oh, darn, I should have gotten that, and I'm trying to get this thing to work. And finally, I get the camera to work, and the camera starts filming. So I just, focus in on Greg. He touches the guy's arm again. So I think you'll see him touch the guy's arm once. And then he touches the arm a third time. But at that point, I turned the camera off again. And he was with this guy for like the entire duration of this red light.
Mm.
And so I had to find out why. And I walked over to Greg, because I wasn't that near him. I was using the long setting on the lens, as you can see in the movie. Also, where you see me, Franny filmed me. She was out there with me one day. and she filmed me.
Mm-hmm.
So I went over to him and I said, "What was that?" And he said, "Well, I offered this guy the bumper sticker and he said, 'Sure, I'll put it on my car because my wife died of cancer 3 weeks ago.'"
Oh, no.
Yep. So he was comforting this guy and hanging out with him. So that was just a little story. Like we reach people's hearts, you know, we touch people's hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And there are all these little moments that are pretty amazing. Oh, like that woman who wanted to quit smoking. Did I ever tell you about that woman who wanted to quit smoking, Anna?
I don't think so.
Well, okay, this woman, I'll just tell you one more story. I'm walking down the line, and I come to this woman who is smoking, and she has her car windows rolled down. So, of course, I'm going to have to stop and talk to her because her windows are down, right? I don't want to be rude. And so I said, "Here, you know, would you take one of these and put it on your car?" And she said, "Sure, you know, I'll do it, you know." And I said, "And, you know, could you donate something?" And she, you know, gave me, I don't know what she gave me, but then, and I said to her, "You know, you could use this to quit smoking." And her face just lit up. And she said, "Really? I'd love to quit smoking." And I had no idea that she wanted to quit smoking. I thought, oh God, a smoke. You know, I was already like down on her. You know? Like I was having all kinds of negative thoughts about her because she was smoking. But she wanted to stop. So then I said, you know, then she said, "Oh gosh, but you know, I don't have a computer. So I guess I can't really do it." And I said, "Well, why don't you go to the library?" And her face lit up again. You know, she said, "Oh yeah, go to the library and use the computer." So that was just another story. It transformed me because I realized, like, not to judge people. You know, like give them. See, I'm in a virtual reality. That's the thing about virtual realities we were talking about on Friday. That I was in a virtual reality about this woman. I'd already constructed a copy of this woman in my mind, and that's what I was looking at. And talking to her and interacting with her forced me to look at her and see her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good.
So that's my other little story. And I'll tell you what, this is probably a good place here to do the gravitational strengthening prayer. What do you guys say about that? Mm-hmm. So we're going to have Barb do it again? Mm-hmm. All right, Barb.
Hang on to your hats.
Are you saying we should actually get our hats off the hat rack and hang on to them?
Yes. They would be grab your hats. Okay. When you get your signal, the purpose of this prayer is to attract chi. The chi will perform mimic actions of its own. When you do these actions, do them for your family and your soulmates too. When I get my signal, I accept God's wisdom.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I attract grace.
Yes.
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 I attract guides and guidance.
Yes.
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 I attract knowingness and wisdom.
Yes.
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 First. I attract the experiences I need so I can learn what I need to learn to do God's work.
Yes.
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 When I get my signal, I've installed discrimination between things that win and ones that don't. Things, people, activities, and locations that win. Ones that
Yeah.
don't.
Yes.
Yes.
I've also installed a reflex to drop the ones that don't win, even when I'm succeeding with them. And install a reflex to do the ones that do win, even when I'm a beginner at them.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm installing the reflex to dwell on solutions.
Yes.
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 I fulfill the
Yes.
hopes of my parents and ancestors.
Yes.
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 I'm merging my results bodies with parents and ancestors.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm even installing the right factors.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm doing these prayers for my family, loved ones, and soulmates, as well as for myself.
Yes.
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 I attract money and other wealth.
Yes.
I attract tools to fulfill my mission.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract technologies to fulfill my mission.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract respect.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract cures.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract fame.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract health, wellness, and longevity.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I attract remedies and antidotes to dysfunction.
Yes.
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 I attract faith.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract gratitude.
Yes.
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 I attract fun.
Darn tootin'.
Yes.
I love fill in the blank unconditionally. I
Yes.
love pick a person.
Yes.
I attract the love of my life.
Yes.
Yes.
I let in love and nurturing.
Yes.
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 I attract my children and students.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract astute, committed immuners.
Yes.
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 I attract powerful and benevolent allies.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract people who appreciate me and support me in my mission.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract people who will connect me to the people I need to talk to.
Yes.
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 Just fill in the blank. I attract, and name some people for yourself. I attract, name some people.
Yes.
Beware, this is very effective. I attract forgiveness. I did that last week and I saw the person like 2 days later.
Really?
I attract and it was happening so fast. I was like, wait, I was like,
I was just thinking of you the other day.
it's been like 20 years. Yeah, I attract forgiveness.
Yes.
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 In other words, be prepared to say whatever you want to say to the person that you attract.
Yes.
Because they will appear. In the last 5 minutes, I picked a bigger person.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract worldwide awareness and use of Immunix.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
I am leaving behind everything that slows me down.
Yes.
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 I want nothing.
Yes.
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 I've done enough Immunix on myself today to create a critical mass. And if you're not getting a signal, just take yourself there.
Yes.
That concludes
Yes.
the gravitational strengthening prayer.
Yes. Yes.
And the noosphere prayer is in the hopper.
Okay, let's load the noosphere.
Lock and load. You ready? You want me to move right on with that?
No, actually I don't.
Okay, good.
Greg, do you want her to move on with it?
No.
Oh.
I'll just
The world can wait.
birds.
We could kind of reach out and assist the people that were in that amazing hurricane, tornado rather.
Let's do that.
Wow.
Let's do
They're
that.
in Oklahoma. It's Oklahoma.
Yeah, okay. There's
we're
a lot of people there with rips in their etheric bodies and tremendous grief from loss of people were killed, so there's a lot of the people who are living or in a lot of trauma and pain. So let's just remove the disturbances from all of their emotional bodies. And turn their auras, look around that area, project your awareness into that geographic area and see where the darkness is and turn it light. Anyone else have any suggestions for things that we could do to help? Okay.
That's just to have all their God connectors in.
Yeah.
What we've done may
Also,
be
it's like
enough.
whatever was happening that would create such a swirl, I think we should just kind of bring it down and try to, I guess that would involve the noosphere, but just calm things down in the atmosphere.
You're talking about controlling the weather?
Kind of, yeah. Or just I think that it created it's more disturbance in those people.
Well, we could try controlling the weather if you want. Let's just
I do it sometimes.
let's calm the atmosphere. Don't
like
tell
to
them
connect-
don't tell them you've calmed the atmosphere, because they're going to say, "Well, where were you when we needed you?"
I was just going to say, I think we need to connect them. We need to connect them with all the resources and that could possibly be immediately available to them.
Yeah, we could connect them with their ability to cure things themselves.
Their ability to receive and cure and move through things, yeah.
Yeah, just remember who they are, that they're okay. Okay. Something tells me Oklahomans will pick this up fast.
God,
Oklahoma's cool.
that town was the one that had the highest recorded wind in the history of people. You know, it's like over 300 miles an hour. That was like back in the 90s. That more Oklahoma.
Whoa.
Remember when
Same town.
Mayor Baba had his famous car accident in Oklahoma?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Mm-hmm. There's a little museum where it
Do
was.
that? So did we do that?
Mayor
Or
Baba.
do that?
Okay.
Well, I wanted to, Anna, there's a couple other things I wanted to cover with you. So since it's now 10:20, maybe I'll go on with that. And then we can do the Noosphere prayer. Franny and I have been listening to some talks about people making decisions. And how people make choices. And basically what it seems is that when people have fewer options, it's easier for them to choose. Are you with me so far?
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
Yeah. So, okay. Now, then I listened to one today by the same guy. He does a lot of these experiments. He's a sociologist. And he was talking about the effect of money on people doing altruistic work, or like just, let's say, helping a friend, okay? Like they'll do experiments where, you know, one of the people in the experiment doesn't know he's being experimented on. And so the person will say, could you help me move, for example, and his friend will say, sure, I'll help you move. I'll be over at 8 tomorrow with my truck. And the guy will say, okay, you know, by the way, I'll pay you $50 to help me move. And like the person, then when the person with the truck is thinking, oh gee, he's going to pay me $50, well, that's really not enough. You know, he was very happy to do it for free, but when he's offered $50, suddenly he feels like he's being cheated.
Right.
It's so true.
This is this is a result of experiments. I had a funny experience with my neighbor across the street who cut my lawn for years. He has a Dixie chopper. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, listen, it's no big deal, you know. I'm out there anyway on the Dixie chopper, so I might as well cut your lawn. And so he cut mine as well as his. And then this went on for like about 3 years, and I used to give him vegetables and stuff, but after a while he didn't want the vegetables. He just, like, I don't think they eat many vegetables, this particular man. And also, you know, their kids, the kids grew up and moved away. I mean, we've been here like 12 years, you know. So things changed, and so he didn't want the vegetables, and then so at some point I said, well, maybe I could reimburse you for your gas, you know. And he said, no, I don't want any money, you know. So because I think that he got that same kind of effect, you know what I mean? Like he didn't want the effect of the money that it would have on him. You get the idea?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, doing what you're doing, like you're practicing. Like when you hand out bumper stickers, you're practicing. And one of the things you're obviously practicing, which we've already talked about, is interacting with people. Mm-hmm. You with me? like you're training yourself to interact with people. See?
Right.
Like when I went out, I wore a sign that said, "Please donate $2." And then I had some other things. I had other signs that I put in the grass on the median. I stuck them in the grass, and it said, "People cure cancer," and all this stuff. And then one day I didn't feel like putting the signs out, so I just went out without the signs. And then I realized I'd forgotten the sign that I wore on my chest, so I didn't wear that either, so I just went out without anything. And I took it just as much money, and I realized I don't know if these things are actually doing anything, these signs, you know. I'm not sure they're necessary. So, but the thing is that, like, remember what you said you would write to the person if you tweeted him? You'd say, "I know how to cure incurable diseases, and I want you to learn." Remember that?
Right.
Yeah. Well, you know, like, let me say again that what Jay Abrams said in that talk about the magic box is like, make a mystery. Make it a mystery. Like people love mysteries, and they love to be with them and watch them be solved. At some point, it's post-dictive. You know, the person goes, "Oh my God, you know, I knew it. Why didn't I say that? I knew it was going to be that." You know what I mean, Anna?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Somebody's typing.
Not me.
Just, Barb, is that you? Oh, thanks. If you just go on mute, that's fine. Okay. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying, Barb. It doesn't matter. You won't remember it anyway.
No, I'm listening to it. I'm listening to it.
I'll tell you, I think you have a pretty good grasp of this stuff when you open.
This has been a really helpful meeting. This is exactly what's been on my mind lately. So what you're talking on about is helping me. So yeah, I'm listening.
When you open your mouth, you usually seem to know what's going on. So I'm pretty pleased with it. Okay, so like at some point as you interact with people, what you say changes. If you're actually having real experience with people. See, me sitting here telling you what to say isn't going to help you. Like, you have to have real experience with people. Like, I used to go out and I used to say, "Please put this on your car to, so people know that they can cure these things, or to prevent a flu epidemic or whatever." When Greg went out, what he said was, "Please put this on your car and or donate something." And he took in more money than I did.
Oh.
Greg always took in more money than I did. Not by much, but it was very consistent. He always took in more money than I did. There's something about Greg that elicits money from people. A little more than me. It's like a very marginal thing. Like, I might take in, $50 and he'll take in $58. Or something like that. It's marginal, but it's there. It's always there. Now, so you're learning to interact with people. When I was thinking about writing to that person earlier today, what I was thinking that somebody might say is, "I know the most effective altruistic organization in the world, which I've been volunteering for, and I'm certain you've never heard of it, and I'd like to talk to you on the phone about it. Can we talk?"
That sounds good.
See, when you ask a person to take action, that's another thing. This is another decision you don't ever need to make. It's like the bumper stickers. Another nice thing about handing out bumper stickers is it saves you the trouble of figuring out what to ask people for. Because because you're walking over to people and saying, please put this on. You're asking them to do something with the bumper sticker, which is, please do not put this on your refrigerator. If you put this on your refrigerator, I'm coming to your house with a sledgehammer and I'm going to smash your refrigerator to 1,000,000 pieces. I do not want to see this bumper sticker on your refrigerator. Don't put it in a drawer. I will smash your dresser to 1,000,000 pieces. The only thing is, if you put this on your car, I won't smash your car into 1,000,000 pieces. So, okay. So,
around here they put them on guitar cases.
Well, which actually isn't a bad place for them. People always look at guitar cases, so the one way to get bumper stickers seen is to put it on a guitar case. That's a good place to put it. So now there are other good places to put them other than car windows. We did a program once where we put them in store windows. There's actually a page in there about it. They went around and photographed the store windows, and I put the photos on the page. So you could see that this was in Encinitas, California. You could see they went into each store and they said, we're doing this nonprofit work, and we put this on the front of your, like on the door, you know. You know what that was based on? I don't know if I ever told you this story either. Anna, did you ever hear the story about how we had 17 puppies?
Yeah, I think I did.
And remember how I got rid of them?
Well, I remember that part about that Frank had a table and she was taking all the information and interviewing people.
That you don't remember how I got the people for her to interview? Or
how did you do that?
Do you remember? You
No.
Okay. I went to the fish wholesaler. And I said to the salesman, the head salesman who I used to talk to, I said, I want to put this on the cashier window for a week by the cashier's face, because that was where people lined up. So they would stand there and stare at this handbill with the picture of the pups, and it said they were free, and it was, you know. And he said, okay, you could do that. He said, you are never going to give these pups away. But nobody believed that we were going to give them away. Do you know that we had people calling, because I put the things up before we were actually ready to give the pups away. We didn't want to give the pups away until they got to be a certain age, you know. But people were beating the door down, like we were getting calls all day. And for weeks afterwards, people were calling after the pups were given away. They wanted pups.
We did do more than the wholesaler, but we put it in the grocery store up in Chestnut Hill too.
Yeah, well, we put it in we got a lot of the pharmacy there in Chestnut Hill. And also from the post office. There was one thing in the post office that people...
Well, you know, another place where we put it, that we got at least one pup that I know about got taken from there. Keely's building. Keely lives in the Society Hill Towers in Philadelphia, or she did at the time. She still has the condo, but she moved to Fort Lauderdale. But anyway, like behind the doorman on the wall, I went in there, because I used to go there and leave things for Keely, and I used to give things to the guys there, and I said, can I put this here for a while, you know? And he said, sure, you know. And so I put the thing up, and you know, the person who took the pup was the doorman.
Oh.
Anyway, back to... So one of the things you're learning about, you're practicing interacting with people. Okay? You're practicing talking with people in a real way. You with me?
Right.
Okay. Another thing that you're practicing and learning about is money. Like, what do you plan to do with the money that you take in?
Well, I know I'm going to give some to you guys.
We already did. You gave us the $100 that you owe for the stickers. So that's handled. So now what?
Pink Corvette.
A night on the town. Yeah. I don't know. I hadn't thought about that. I'll probably put it aside for some good cause. I'm not sure what.
Okay. Let me just give you a little something about, like some things about churches. Maybe we can't cover this whole thing right now tonight. But let me just tell you some things about churches and nonprofits. Nonprofits and churches are different. And one of the ways that they're different is that nonprofits have to have, I believe they're required to have certain points where they close out and reopen their books. Do you understand what that means?
I'm not quite sure, but
all right. Let's say you have this nonprofit, and every year the nonprofit raises money to buy school books for kids that go to underprivileged schools in Manila, the Philippines. Okay, so at the end of their the books have to get bought at a certain time, and what's supposed to happen is that you have the people that work for the nonprofit. They get paid, their salaries are ongoing. So the nonprofit's supposed to pay their salaries, it's supposed to pay all of its expenses and have a reasonable cash flow. But as far as the bulk of the money which goes for the books, that's supposed to close out and then reopen. See, so when the IRS looks at nonprofits and they say, okay, so you're supposed to close this out and you have to have spent essentially they're supposed to have spent all this money. So if they get an awful lot in, they have to figure out what to spend it on. Like how to get, expand the kids that they get books for or something, okay? Now with the church, churches are not like that. People donate real estate to churches. They donate cars to churches. They donate, all kinds of things to churches. And churches never have to close anything out. Like the Catholic Church has been amassing stuff for like 2,000 years. They got lots of diamonds and gold and and all kinds of artifacts and stuff in the basement. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They just keep the stuff. They don't know what to do with it. So this is you. You're a church. You're not a nonprofit. But you are a nonprofit because you don't have to pay taxes, but you don't have to do what nonprofits have to do. You don't have to do anything. My accountant, who Barb found me, Dodd, once said to me that in this country, in the United States, nobody can tell a church what to do. Which doesn't mean you can steal, or something. But it does mean, as far as, managing your church, nobody can tell you what to do. You do not have to give out the names of your members or whatever. So, that being said, your night on the town idea wasn't bad, actually. One thing, and I'll say why. Maybe sometimes a night on the town changes your perspective on things. And changing your perspective with what you're trying to do with practicing and learning stuff and all, that could be a very good thing to do. Just change your perspective.
Right.
Have a different perspective. Like, I probably spent $500,000 eating in sushi bars. Over the years that I ate in them, and I learned an awful lot. It was definitely worth it.
What'd you learn?
Wow, I've always wanted to write a book. I even have a title for it. It's called My Life in Sushi. It's based on, you know, the Stanislavski's book, My Life in Art.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, what did I learn? Well, for one thing, I learned how to make my own raw fish dinners. But I also learned a lot about mastery, the difference between a master and a masterful person, which is very different. Because there are a lot of masterful sushi chefs, but very few masters. And when I found masters, I ate with them for years. And I ate with several great ones, truly great men. You know. And then, of course, learned what it is to be a master and how they behave and so on. And it's interesting that they would always recognize Franny as you know, you might say a master. You know, they just always loved Franny.
Who's that?
All the chefs that we ever ate with, Bono.
Oh.
I remember, like, one night we were sitting in this restaurant. I used to eat in a restaurant called Sagami in Philadelphia, and I used to, you know, talk to the owner all evening because he was the chef, you know, when I went there by myself, and I would sit in front of him and we would talk. He was totally fucking out there. This guy is really funny. But anyway, Franny and I were sitting there with him and his wife, who actually owns the restaurant, and everyone had gone home. Like, the staff dinner was over. They had eaten and they all left, and the four of us were sitting at this table talking. And all of a sudden, I don't know where but I looked, I just got the time from somewhere, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I said, my God, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. We need to go home. Like, they would have sat there and talked to us all night. Like, and you know, and Franny didn't go to that restaurant that often. But boy, they just loved her. They always loved her because Franny is a master. And some people get that. You know, they can see it. Most people can't.
Yeah, but Rue used to tell me that you were crazy.
That's right, and which is true.
He always wanted to know that we were coming because he designed a special meal for Bayard ahead of time.
And his wife wanted to know because she knew that he would be gone the evening. He'd be drunk on his butt because Bayard always brought him beer.
Yeah, Rue would always drink while he was making the fish, so that was a big mistake.
And his wife hated Bayard, but just really hated him.
Well, you know, anyway, the only thing I wanted to say before we say the Noosphere prayer, just about the money thing, is, like, don't get trapped in that too much, too little thing. You know, that the guy was talking about, that because you're not doing it for the money, you're doing it for the practice.
Right.
And at the same time, what you have to realize is the thing you're practicing is taking in money. Like, you're not just trying to train yourself how to talk to people, you're training yourself to get support from people. You with me?
Get reward.
Barb, go on mute if you're going to type, because she didn't understand what I said, so just muty. You're training yourself to receive support.
Oh, support. Okay.
Meaning you're training yourself, like, you want to know that, you know, as time goes on, people give you more money. That's forward progress. And they're happy about it because they know. And another thing, do you think that if people give you more money, it might help you stay out there? You know, like,
sure.
Maybe you'll just say, well, you know, I don't have to think about, like, you know, now that I'm retired, maybe I'd like to have a part-time job or something, and you know, I was thinking about getting a job as a cashier in a supermarket, or taking on some tutoring clients and getting some, you know, little tutoring money or whatever, you know, so I'd have a little extra change. But, you know, you say, well, you know, I actually probably took in, you know, when I was out the other day, I took in what I would have taken in from a tutoring client, and this is more important, so maybe I'll do this instead. It can keep you out there. But then, see, you have to develop the skill, because you already have the skill of tutoring.
Mm-hmm.
So that you've got, so you can sell that. But with this, you may need to do some developing of the skill.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
And we can talk more about it Friday, too. Okay?
No, this is good. It's because you brought it back to the beginning of when you were talking about the lawnmower and offering the vegetables, and then it came to offering, you know, money, and so it seems like I just need to kind of keep an open mind, or like a blank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Be open,
exactly
and
right.
then it'll all work out. And don't have any expectations.
Yeah. That's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely right.
Yeah. So, thanks.
Because as far as taking in more money, I don't have the vaguest idea of what to tell you about it. It's something I think you have to feel in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know? However, maybe by Friday I'll have tons more to say about it.
All right.
I definitely have a story to tell, and we don't have time right now because it's almost 1:15. But you know, Joel, remind me that you know who Joel Osteen is, the Christian minister?
Yeah.
Well, he told an absolutely great story about taking in donations. And I really want to tell you this story, so just remind me on Friday, okay?
All right, I will.
Don't forget, Joel, just say Joel Osteen's story about his father getting a donation.
Well, can't you do it quickly? How long will it take?
No, you can't tell it quickly, and plus, we have to do this
I have to
prayer.
hear it. I have to work Friday.
We have to, well,
And by the way, I don't get tipped very much, so it will really help me.
we have to watch this movie. I mean, no, we have to do this prayer. It's 10:43. Is everybody okay for staying a little late and doing the prayer?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Well, if you have to get off, you can get off. But we'll just this will be 5 minutes past the due time. So, all right, Barb, go ahead. The Noosphere prayer.
Hi, this is the Global Healing Prayer. The first one, I'm raising the Noosphere to the 27th dimension.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
I'm removing all pathologies from the Noosphere.
Yes.
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 I'm adjusting the particle indexes of the Noosphere so that they are in balance and at full strength.
Yes.
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 I'm adjusting the meridians of the Noosphere to create a free and balanced energy flow.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm adjusting the chakras of the Noosphere to get full function.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the bodies of the Noosphere are at full function.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Noosphere is unswitched and heading in God's direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm removing all impressions from the karmic body of the Noosphere.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm removing terrorism from the gravitational and spiral bodies of the Noosphere.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm removing the tendency to use biological weapons from the gravitational and spiral bodies of the Noosphere.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm now merging my higher bodies with others who understand what we're doing.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm removing any predisposition in the noosphere toward disease.
Yes.
Yes.
All the bodies of the noosphere are one rainbow.
Yes.
I'm now asking the forgiveness of everyone I've ever harmed or will harm by not making Unix available to them faster. And
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And now when I get my signal, they've heard and received my request for forgiveness in their results bodies.
Yes.
Yes.
And when I get another signal, they have forgiven me.
Yes.
Discovering this helps them discover Unix for themselves without me needing to be better in order to give it to them.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That concludes the noosphere prayer. You guys are great.
Yay!
Let's all link our results bodies,
Yeah.
and we are now one big happy family.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you all. And Karen, you can watch the movie of next week's meeting if you don't, if you can't be there, so you can see.
Okay.
You can hear.
Yeah, I try to do it. Okay, good.
You can hear the story that way.
I'll
Guys,
call you later, Alejandro.
see
We
you
can all go to
later.
the 144th dimension, except we don't want to lose any family members, so.
I'm on the 144th
Do
dimension.
careful.
Everybody go to the 144th dimension.
Make sure you don't lose your family members on the way. Okay.
Could be a bumpy ride.
Take a head count. All right, thank you.
All right. Here you see the home page of curedrive.org, which is the Cure College on the web that we have put here for you to come learn how to cure medically incurable diseases. Now, at the top of the page, the home page, which you should be on right here, and I want to recommend, if you have not already, get to this page by opening a tab. Do not turn this movie off. Open a tab so that you can still hear me talking. And leave this tab open and then go to this website. Now the tally that you see, 132K, people ask, where does that come from? And if you notice, right above it, and this is, by the way, on every page in the Web College, it says Report Cure. If I click on that, it goes to a page where there's a little form to fill out where you can report your cures. Now I will press the incredible back button and go back to the home page of curedrive.org. And also, if you want to contact us, there's a little link here that says Contact. And you'll notice that we put our phone numbers in here. We feel more comfortable being called on the phone. So it's just easier to talk, and this is a very big subject, and we find that it saves us time and work if people call us. Now we document our cures. This movie that you're watching here is an example of that. this is a movie where people cure things on camera, and you watch them. You watch them curing things. For example, the woman here, and at this point in the movie, is curing a flu. And if you watch this movie, you'll discover that she comes in with fully developed flu symptoms, including headache and God knows what else, and the symptoms disappear in around 20 minutes. That's how fast this is. Personally, I have not had a flu even try to come on since 1993, when I cured my herpes. My 20th anniversary, by the way, just passed. 20th anniversary of my herpes cure in April of 2013. Okay, if you look again above the Cure Drive, logo, I guess it is, and what you'll see is the Cure Show. There's a link to go to the Cure Show. And the Cure Shows are another way that we documented our cures. And for example, you'll find letters at the top of the Cure Show, and if you click the letter F, it takes you to fibromyalgia, where you see a lot of, or 2 people curing fibromyalgia, actually. And underneath it, there are many, many shows on flu. We had a flu hotline. And what you'll find with this is that people with similar conditions get parallel results. Like these people who cured their flu, or I don't think we ever had a person come in to cure the flu that, you know, was just getting it. You know, they all had it for a couple of days. There they are. And they, you hear their flu cure during the call in around 20 minutes. So there are about 100 diseases represented on this page. Acid reflux, abuse. There are, you know, conditions can be considered diseases also. Oh, such as traumatic stress syndrome from 9/11, the, World Trade Center attack. A woman actually cured her traumatic stress syndrome from that. So now if we're back on the home page again, and up here at the top it says Login Hub and or sign up. If you don't have a password, you can sign up, or you can log in, and you come to the hub of the Cure College. This is the hub, not the home page. And new people who come here, many people just come in and get a password right away. They instantly get a password and come in, and they say, "What is this?" It's gigantic. Over here, this is the basic skill. Skill 1 is cure physical diseases. And it has 10 applications. Remove viruses, cure cancer and trauma, recode your DNA. With certain diseases, you must recode your DNA to cure the disease. This may be true, for example, of viral-based diseases such as herpes simplex, Epstein-Barr, and so on. And each one has 2 links underneath it. Now if I click on where it says lessons under Recode Your DNA, and these are the lessons. There's this huge page of lessons on recoding DNA. And one of the lessons is remove adverse DNA mutations you catch from other people. Bet you didn't know you were doing that. But you do, and here's the lesson on that, and then you scroll down and there's all these questions. That's how the lessons work. You probably, if this is the first movie you've ever watched, you are probably not ready for a password right now. But you should probably know this is here at the same time and some things about it. For example, here's an application of Skill 1, which is, what is Skill 1, do you recall? Cure physical diseases, right? And it's called the Safety Web. See it? Right here, the Safety Web. If I click on that, what I come to is a page of lessons about, and there's quite a few lessons on this page, about the Safety Web. Now basically, it's very simple. God isn't going to let you fail. You know, a woman asked me, I was telling her to remove all bacteria from her physical body. And she said, well, if I remove all bacteria from my physical body, what, you know, will I remove my beneficial intestinal bacteria? And I said, no. You're not going to remove your beneficial intestinal bacteria. You're going to, you know, God won't let you do that. You know, you're safe. However, there's more to the Safety Web than that. So you'd want to know about the Safety Web. Also, there's an application called Knowingness is Power. Most people ignore it. The reason it's here is because knowingness is curative. A lot of times things that you cure happen just because you know something. Now, curing physical diseases is the lowest level of study in this web college. For example, here, which is in the mid-level, there's a skill called 3 Spiritual Diseases. Do you see it? That's only skill 9. There are 12 skills. So another one is about function. Reinstall your functions. Another one is about reclaiming your immune system so that you can be immune to these things and you won't have to cure cancer or herpes. You won't not get it. As I said before, have not had a flu in 20 years. I haven't had a flu even try to come on in the last 20 years. Okay. If you're not ready for a password yet, and by the way, when you're new, you're probably better off with one of these options. These are the best options for new people, which are next to the movie. And that's when you know you want to start and you're ready. You're ready. You've like learned it and you understand how to do it. What you probably want to start getting a signal first. And if you notice under this movie, you should start getting a signal when you watch during this movie, which is now 4.5 hours, and there's many illustrations of people getting signals. So hopefully you'll pick it up while you're doing that. But if not, there's an entire page of signals, including a movie that plays automatically at the top, which is a very good lesson with a lot of very serious people getting signals as the movie goes along, illustrating how they get signals. And then there are all these other movies about signals as you go down the page. This little tripod is wandering. I'm trying to hold this with my hand while I show this to you. So now, that's an example of some of the other things that are on here. This is our Twitter feed, this black thing, so that you can see what advanced people, because everybody who posts on this has been doing it for a while and, are curing things. A lot of these people have already cured their herpes or their other thing that they came to cure, their chronic fatigue syndrome and so on, and now they're, this is just some things I cooked. It's not about cooking, okay? But anyway, there's lots of people just talking about what they're the more advanced things that they're doing, and these are all people who've cured many things in the past, and probably never get the flu, as I don't. None of us ever get the flu anymore. We don't get sick in that way. That's pretty basic, not getting the flu. So if you're not ready for a password, the thing to do is just keep watching movies. And let me show you something about that. There are lots of movies to watch. Here's one that says I cured it in 10 minutes, and lots of people are interested in this. This is a popular movie. This woman is very experienced with this. She's been doing it about 15 years. And but see, if you go down on this movie to here where it says YouTube, and let's click on this. Let's go to the YouTube page, which is the same movie. See, you're on the same movie now. And right underneath it, there's something that says, let me just show this to you. Cure Drive is the account that the movie is in. And you see it says it has 352 videos. So the thing to do is to click on that and go in to the Cure Drive account with the 352 movies. And then, once you're there, subscribe to the account so that you can get back to it easily. And then there are other accounts too. This is not the only account. Some of them only have 25 movies. There's about 10 different accounts. But there's another one that has 250 something movies on it. This is deceptively simple and easy. As you watch these people in these movies, the cure is always instantaneous. And it gives the impression that it's over and you don't have to continue. You don't have to study. And then you get sick again because you didn't get deep enough and get everything. With that being said, I want to show you these women curing something instantly and leave you with the thought that it's probably not going to be what you expected it to be. I think when you watch these women, that's what you see here, that it's probably not going to be what you expected it to be, but it does cure. It probably will, if you hang in there and stick with it. You probably will cure the thing you came to cure. Say, can I go to the 144th dimension? See if you get a signal on that. Can I go to the 144th dimension?
Can I go to the 144th dimension? Yes? I guess I can.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay, both of you go to the 144th dimension.
I'm taking myself to the 144th dimension.
Me too.
No stopping for gas on the 8th dimension.
I feel clear.
Yeah, I feel less interested in anything below the 144th dimension.
Can we stay here all the time?
I know, exactly.